Eagles will travel to New York on Sunday and play the New York Football Giants, who don't have a win on the season. Eagles are struggling as well ever since opening night in Washington, where they defeated the Redskins. Expectations were high, and then they lose to San Diego, Kansas City, and then they're coming off another loss from this past weekend. Chase, do you remember when we were in Notre Dame and we had those excellent burgers from a place called CJ? How good were those burgers?
One of the best I've ever had.
Right? I had some bacon blue cheese burger. You had another spectacular burger
Price
as well.
efficient, too.
And remember the guy that recommended those burgers to us? It was Luke Petitgout.
That's right.
From the New York Football Giants, who played for them all the way up into 2006. He went to Notre Dame as well, and he joins us on the hotline right now. Luke, it's Zach Gelb and Chase Sr. Thanks so much for joining us, and how are you?
Good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. And do you remember your playing days going back to when you traveled to Philadelphia? What was that experience like when you went out there and played the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, it took you back to your high school days almost, because we jumped in a bus, be it a Greyhound bus. I didn't have a Greyhound in high school, but, we'd just jump on the turnpike, head down, and, we'd see the Philly skyline come into sight, and we knew it was, time to go after we had a cheesesteak Saturday night and be ready for a fist fight on Sunday.
Where'd you get that cheesesteak from? Let's see if you're doing it right when you come to Philadelphia. Do you remember the place?
Well, they brought them in, so I know there's some established joints around there, and I wouldn't want to be partial.
All right, so let's get to this Giants team right now as Luke Petitgout joins us on the hotline. Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. They're not playing with a lot of intensity. They're 0-4 to start off the season. Tom Coughlin, he's won 2 Super Bowls here, defeating the New England Patriots twice. And this is a team now that the fan base is getting tired, and some people are calling for Coughlin's head, and they want him to get out of here. Justin Tuck responded this week, and he said, if anyone turns on our coach, I'd be the first one to punch him in the mouth. You played under Coach Tom Coughlin. What was your relationship like with him, and is he on the hot seat even after winning 2 Super Bowls?
Well, I think that anybody that starts 0-4 has to feel some heat and feel the pressure, no doubt. Whether his job's on the line because of it, I don't think that's the case. Tom is a very established coach. He has a very solid and program that obviously produces results, and the Giants really are in love with him. Upper management loves Tom, and really all the coaches and even the players do really enjoy their time with him also.
Luke, it's Chase Sr. Thanks for hopping on with us. You got 2 teams on Sunday that are desperate for a win. Ever since the Eagles went out and took down the Washington Redskins in Week 1, they've struggled mightily on both sides of the ball, and we all know the story with the New York Football Giants. It's a bitter rivalry. It could be a bloodbath at MetLife Stadium on Sunday. How do you see things playing out?
Well, I definitely think it's always a fist fight. It starts up front with the lines. In recent history, it's been, somewhat close games. Now, both teams have kind of gone under, have gone changes, especially the Eagles with the new up-tempo offense. Even the Giants now, they're predominantly a passing team. So when things start to break down, they start to show quite evidently, and that's what's happening right now, because they don't have those ground games to rely on and kind of let them kind of take a deep breath and get refocused.
Well, as of late, both of these offenses have been struggling, but they've even been worse on the defensive side of the ball. The Eagles are the worst defensive unit in football. They allow so many points per game, and the Giants allow a lot of points per game as well. I would have to imagine, though, that this would possibly be a bounce-back game for both Eli Manning and Michael Vick as they get ready to go up against 2 weak defenses.
Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, it's always a game. Both teams are always come to fight. No matter what, it's really city versus city when it comes down to it. So, both teams will be looking to bounce back, no doubt. The Eagles will be they're a tough team to play because of the tempo. If all things are clicking the right way, the Giants, very very depleted on the offensive line. So to establish a run game against them is not going to be easy, even though the Eagles are giving up some points in yardage.
Luke, you mentioned that depleted Giants offensive line, and you being an offensive lineman, is it just a lack of talent in New York right now? And moving forward, is there a way to try to shore things up on the O-line, because the pass protection's been horrible, they can't establish the run, and they're getting bulldozed by defensive linemen right now?
Yeah, they've been exposed, so to speak. They have a number of guys. I think two of their starters are down. I know Snee was out last week. Boss was out. Those two guys are really your middle. That's your cog of your line, especially when the center is out. Everyone is kind of looking around like, all right, what's going to happen here? Down in Carolina, they were getting beat off the ball, getting hit a lot. So when defenses see that, I mean, it's almost like they just get excited. They feel it because they see it happening. They want that to be them. So they need to stop it immediately, so that it's like you got to stop the bleeding, or they're just going to die.
Luke Petitgout joins us right now on the hotline, Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. We'll talk about the work that he does with ReadyScript in just a few minutes. But, Luke, Justin Pugh, he's a local kid. We had him on the show right before draft day. He went in the first round with the New York Football Giants. Just like you early on in his career, he's been moving around position from position. What have you seen so far out of the young offensive lineman?
I've liked what I've seen. He's been, thrown at their right tackle. I think that's a great place for him to start. He looks to be getting off the ball on time, doesn't look to be confused. Obviously you're going to get beat a few times physically as a rookie, just because of, you're thinking about so many things, and, you're trying to react to the physical part and the mental part. But I think he's doing well. If anything, he's having he's not the weak part of the line to this point of the season.
Now, moving to the Philadelphia Eagles offense, their linemen have to be tired because Chip Kelly comes in there and he wants to run a lot of plays in the game. He has that high-octane offense. What's the toughest part for an offensive lineman when you get into that hurry-up system consistently, play in and play out?
Well, I think it's just a matter of getting used to it and knowing what's expected of you. If you're a big run game team, running powers and counters, then when you throw into the hurry-up offense, it's kind of a sudden change. So if that's going to be predominantly what you do, then it's not a big deal. Like Denver can do that. They run the hurry-up. Occasionally they'll run the zone system on their run game, but it's just a matter of conditioning and getting your legs underneath you. And defenses, they have to play too. So they're going to be just as tired, if not more, because they have to chase the ball. So linemen like it almost up tempo because there's less walking around. You get to the line, call the play. There's less time down in your stance, which can cause false starts in a loud stadium. So I see it as an easier system.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it seems as though the offensive linemen just stay in between the hashes and run up to the ball once the referees place it down. But a lot of analysts also say that the high-octane, high-powered offense could cause offensive linemen to get a little tired. You just think that's overhyped?
Yeah, I think it is because, they're obviously practicing it. It's not for everybody. You got to find the offensive linemen that fit your system. You're not going to have a 380-pound right guard running a hurry-up offense week in and week out. But it's once he gets his guys, and once, like I said, if you know what's expected of you and you do it, you practice it, you know what's going on, there shouldn't be an issue because the linemen have the least amount of running to do.
You being a former tackle, the Eagles really missed Jason Peters last year after he tore his Achilles twice. He's a beast when he's 100% healthy. That's been his issue, though, is staying on the field during his career. But when Jason Peters is full go, full throttle, how good is he?
He's definitely probably top 3 in the league, no doubt. Definitely a talented guy, can do a lot of things and get in a lot of funny positions but get himself out of those positions and still win the battle. He's definitely, can see the tight end in him as a left tackle, and he likes to play, likes to mix it up, and definitely a guy that I like to watch.
We're talking to Luke Petitgout. Luke, a few more questions right before we let you run. The intensity of this Giants football team, I saw them play the Carolina Panthers, and I've just never seen such a slow, a lack of effort from this football team when they went up against Carolina, and they didn't even put up a point on that board that day. What needs to improve from that intensity feeling? You've been on a team before in 2003 when they went 4-12, and you guys got some wins early, but this football team didn't get those wins early. Take me through that player mentality when you have a bunch of losses stacking up. How do you try to fight those odds and get a few victories?
Well, it's number one. It's you got to go into the game confident. You got to get out of this. You got to start the game on a good note, because the more bad things that happen, it's kind of a snowball effect. All right, here we go again. We're going to be in a hurry-up offense. Start of the third quarter. And this is a different type of hurry-up. This is a 2-minute drill, which if you don't practice it as your main offense, it's not fun for linemen. So you want to definitely establish yourself early, get some points going, get the run game going, hit them in the mouth, let them know that you're there to play. It's not going to be an all-day pass rush, one-on-one fest, and just hang in there together, and that's all you can do is just keep fighting, and eventually, you'll break through that ice. But it's really about the fight, and you have to just keep fighting, and good things the sun will come out eventually.
Whether it's been the beginning, middle, or an end of a season, the Giants have always seemed to struggle, especially in the last decade, throughout one portion of the season. Is there a reason behind that? Does it come down to coaching? Does it come down to strength and conditioning, or is it just a little bit fluky?
Yeah, I think you could say that about any team when you take a deep, close look. With Fossil, we kind of got out of the gate, and then we'd struggle a little bit. Then we'd pick it up at the end. With Coughlin, we'd start strong, and we'd kind of tail off at the end. So I think it's just a matter of, it's hard for me to say just because I don't know, what coaches do, behind the scenes to kind of, promote the offense and promote the defense, and they pull out the strings back there. But I think it's just a matter of this year especially. There's injuries, depletion, and, things eventually catch up to you. If you're a top team, people start to really hone in on you, and they focus on you, on your strengths and your weaknesses, and then they expose your weaknesses.
Before we let you go, tell me a little bit about ReadyScript. I know I met you at a ReadyScript event over there in New Jersey, and that was a great event that day where there was a plethora of former athletes there, whether it was Doc Gooden. There was also a bunch of other players that were there that day, Kerry Kittles from the Nets. But tell me a little bit more about ReadyScript.
Well, ReadyScript is a compound pharmacy. We're located in East Rutherford, New Jersey, so we customize prescription medicine to meet the needs of the consumer. So instead of taking a oral pain medicine or oral anti-inflammatory for your stiffness or your pain, we can take that and make it into a cream, a topical cream, so you can apply it directly to the site. So that way it bypasses your organs and your kidneys, your liver, your internal systems. That way, less stress on the body, better efficacy at the site of pain, and improved relief.
Now, before we let you run, you were a Notre Dame Irish guy. You played there for a bunch of years. Are you a little bit nervous about this club as they're 3-2 and they get ready to face Arizona, who's 3-1 on the year?
Well, yeah. Anytime Notre Dame takes the field, you get nervous. It's lately. I'm a big fan of Kelly. I think he's got a great system there, and I love how he holds the guys accountable. I think he's brought some good guys in there. I'd like to see him when he gets after the guys on the sideline, because in years past it's kind of been a bit. He just reminds me of a Holtz who I played for, who isn't afraid to just tear into you if you're messing up. But then he will also build you back up. So I see good things for Notre Dame. Obviously, coming off a 12-0 year or 11-0, whatever they were, it's tough to repeat that because again, the people are gunning for you. They lost a bunch of people, but they have talent there. It may take a year or two to get back to where they were.
Well, Luke, we appreciate a few minutes today. Thanks so much. Good luck with the whole ReadyScript stuff, and let's talk to you again real soon.
Okay, guys. Thank you.